Hello, everybody. This is going to be a strange, well, I shouldn't say it's strange. It's going to be a quick one, a quick video. It's going to be a mind dump video, just kind of like my journal. I don't know how many people in my, that sub to me actually care about comics. I love comics. Marvel, DC. I should say, any third indie party, any third party indie comics. I love them all. Manga, I love it all. Storytelling, I love it. But recently, I've been trying to take my favorite heroes and villains and imagine stories on them. At the beginning of the year, I wanted to focus a little bit more on Lex Luthor, Mr. Terrific, Deadpool, dabble in Wolverine. I love drawing Wolverine, but I haven't really thought about Wolverine comics. I've already thought about my Batman stories, some Spider-Man stories, but as of recent, I've been thinking of Captain America so much. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Sam Wilson, Captain America. I mean, I think about freaking Bucky Barnes all the time, whether it's Winter Soldier or him being Captain America. But I have this crazy... I shouldn't say it's crazy. I just think it's a solid idea for a Captain America run. Hello. What's up, Magic Sphinx? Long time. I'm talking about my ideas for comic book characters. Right now, I cannot stop thinking about Captain America, which sounds ridiculous. But I have so many stories to tell. I think that when I think of Captain America, I just think of so many things that you can apply, like, regular human American life to. Like, what would Captain America see these different, like, how could Captain America view these things differently than a regular person would? Like, how would his empathy shine through in a different way? How would his skills shine through in a different way? And I'm not going to say how I think my arc would, carry on. I'm not going to tell you my villains or whatnot, but, like, I've got a solid through line. That sounds awesome, actually. Thank you. And, like, I'll give this one away. Like, my run would focus on Steve Rogers, but I think I could do it in, like, again, it could be an ongoing, they could be standalone issues, like graphic novels. When I think of Captain America, I think of, like, he's like the Superman or the Batman of the Marvel Universe. At least he should be. Like, in the DC Universe, they hammer in the fact that Superman is the center of it all. He has been many times. Yeah, Batman might be the one that they sell so many books about, but in the DC Universe, that guy is Superman. He holds it together. He's the first superhero in the 1930s. Like, they hold true to that. I think that should be Captain America. I mean, or Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. You could say it's Spider-Man, the Ultimate Universe right now, kind of centered around Spider-Man being Spider-Man. But honestly, like, right now, the way Spider-Man's going, I think that character from Marvel should be Captain America. Just a solid run where and I mean, like, think about it. It's like Captain America, he was invented the same time around Superman, was he not? Am I wrong? Purely created for America to cope with what was going on overseas. Jewish people created Captain America for that as a symbol of hope and strength. That's pretty good. But I'm saying give Captain America a solid run where we see him go through America and tackle different things. Captain America has already tackled Nazis, other super soldiers, betrayal from his best friend, ghosts. Brent Schoonover, Marvel creator, did a nice story about Bucky and Cap in World War II fighting against Baron Zemo's, great-grandpa or whatever, and fighting Nazi ghost zombies. Come on, man. Captain America, he can do anything. He is Marvel's Batman, and they don't treat him like that. He deserves these nice graphic novels, poignant graphic novels, all these stories. I would take Captain America throughout America, and he would, we'd see him in the past. We'd see him, like, in World War II, flashbacks. We'd see him go out in America. He would talk to different people, and we would see how his talking to different people is juxtaposed, with the story that's going on at that time. There'd be connective tissue throughout the lines. There'd be standalone issues. We'd see him face, like, time as a responsibility. and of course, people might have done it, but like, time as a responsibility, but maybe not in the way that I'm thinking about. We'd see Captain America tackle like, organized crime. We'd see him tackle like stuff in rural America. We'd see him be out of time, displaced. We would see him, talk about things that he saw in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s that he's seeing now. And we see these connective layers. We see other people out of time, other people that are time displaced, and how maybe they're not coping with the things the same way, and why that works. How a person that is displaced, how do they react to it when they don't have the super serum? Ooh. And, with my Sam Wilson ideas, I just think right now, a man without the super soldier serum fighting as like this, a true symbol of America against all these things. I think more people over time are starting to feel like that. At least I'm starting to feel like that. Everyone's taking all these different things, whether you're a woman, a man, a child, a kid. I would like to see Sam Wilson think about that stuff. I know in the Captain America movie, you kind of see him deal with that, where he's like, man, maybe I should have taken that super soldier serum, Bucky. And he's like, Steve picked you for a reason, do your thing. And I think you could just explore that more into a comic book, like, as, what does it take? Like, how much is enough? What does Sam Wilson think is enough when it comes to, like, would a kid be taking these supplements? Should a kid be taking these supplements? Should grown people be taking these supplements? How long? How much of a supplement should a kid take? I just think, like, as Captain America, you should focus on American things in a way, and again, like, kids read comics, young adults read comics, like, inject some of that in there. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to, like, point towards a specific leaning of an issue. Just ask the question or get people to think about these issues. It just seems like everything doesn't have to be a big event. Just ask a question, start a conversation with the comic book. Take these super heroes and see how these superheroes deal with legit, real world, problems and situations. Interesting characters and interesting situations. Again, I didn't really I kind of gave you fluff, because I'm not going to give you my villains and how they talk and how they interact with each other, but I had to document this because sometimes I'm going to say something, I'm going to get an idea out when I talk versus when I'm just writing it in my journal. Tell me what you think. If you want to do more of these, you want to hear more of these, again, like, I've got the Mr. Terrific idea. I've got some Spider-Man ideas. I've got some Batman ideas. Like, I just think, like, right now with DC, they are doing, they doing their night fight event. Like, the night fight event was sick. We're seeing different versions of, we're seeing Batman fight his sons. He's helping them get through stuff. But, like, good Lord, Marvel, you have so many people being Captain America. You could do the same thing. How is life? How is life when different people are Captain America? What does that mean for people? They've probably done that already. What if, some what if story. But I'm saying, like, like, oh my God. Like, I have this one for My Father, Captain America. Has there ever been a graphic novel called My Father, Captain America? My Dad, Captain America. And everyone's probably getting their own ideas if they hear this. What does that mean? Everyone probably has their own idea of what that would mean. My Dad, Captain America. As a standalone graphic novel. Who's talking? Who's talking? That brings interest. What would the story be about? You could go so many ways. Like the last story of Superman, like these Neil Gaiman and these, oh my God, I hope I'm butchering this because I'm forgetting who these comic book creators are that are creating these graphic novels, who created these graphic novels. But hello, it's Captain America. He deserves that. At least I think. Oh, that's about it, people. I gotta go inside. I gotta take a shower. I gotta make breakfast. What do you think? Leave a comment, whether you're talking to me right now or in the future. I'll have to rename this video to something about my comic book ideas, and I'll just, put it in a playlist or something. Yeah. Have a great day. Bye.